What if you could capture amazing memories with the touch of a button? Easily save moment after beautiful moment for the future. What if there was a way to simply share your own unique vision with the world? For over 70 years, Canon has been one of the leaders in developing solutions for image capture. And now there's more in store. More features, more solutions, more creative options. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to this quick tutorial on how you can get the most out of your new camera. EOS Rebel cameras are high-performance digital SLR cameras. Select EOS Rebel cameras feature a high-resolution CMOS sensor for stunning image capture, a digic image processor, high-precision and high-speed autofocus, and continuous shooting, and full HD movie shooting. These cameras can be perfect for shooting different situations and can produce outstanding photos and video in a variety of circumstances. Now sit back and learn all about your new camera, a camera that can amaze you with its capabilities. Enjoy features that can take photography to the next level and allow you to shoot like a pro with little practice. The Canon EOS Rebel cameras can take your vision beyond the expected and help you capture images that you can admire for decades to come. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started so you can see how easy it is to capture the beauty around you. Your camera comes with everything you need to get started. Aside from the camera itself, inside the box, you'll find a standard zoom lens, an eye cup, a battery pack, a battery charger, a wide strap for easy carrying, a USB cable, the EOS Digital Solution Disc and Software Instruction Manual CD, and the instruction manual for future reference. You're almost ready to take your first picture with your brand new camera, but first, we need to go over a few things in order to get you started off right. To begin using your camera, you must first charge the battery, since it is not fully charged right out of the box. It's best to fully charge the battery in order to help ensure maximum battery life for now and the future. Begin by removing the battery's protective cover before you charge it. Now, attach the battery securely to the charger and plug it into an outlet. Charging will start immediately. The charge light on the battery charger will be lit as the battery is charging. When the battery is fully charged, the full charge light indicator will light up. It takes approximately 2 hours for a battery to fully charge if it has been fully exhausted. Now let's put the battery into your camera. Slide open the lever to the battery compartment on the camera. Insert the end with the battery contacts facing down. Push the battery into the camera until it locks in place. Close the cover until it snaps shut. Now before you capture those memories, you need something to save those memories too. Before inserting the card, make sure that the card's Write Protect switch is set to enable writing and editing. The SD card slot is located here. To open, slide out the cover and flip to an open position. This slot can also be located along with the battery compartment at the base of the camera body, right here. Slide the lever and pull to open. Insert the card with the card's label facing you. Insert it until it clicks in place. Close the cover until you hear it snap shut. Now your pictures are ready to be stored. When you turn the camera on, look at the LCD screen. You will see the amount of pictures you will be able to store on your SD card. Before you start capturing those great memories, you need to first secure your lens to the camera body. One of the great things about EOS Rebel cameras is that you have the ability to change lenses. So depending on what you want to shoot, there are many options available, from wide angle to macro and beyond. A wide angle lens is good for capturing group shots of family and wide shots of landscape. A telephoto lens lets you get in close from a distance. A zoom lens, like the one included with your camera, allows you to vary the range of your lens just by turning a ring. A macro lens is a special kind of lens that allows you to take close-up shots, such as flowers. Begin by attaching the included lens to the camera body. Align the lens white or red index with the camera's index in the matching color. Insert and twist until the lens locks into place. Set the lens focus mode switch to AF, or automatic focus. You'll be able to manually set the focus in the future if you wish to adjust this by yourself. You want to be able to see things clearly in your viewfinder in order to find an interesting subject to capture. To see a clear picture in your viewfinder, you must first set the camera's diopter. The diopter dial can be found on the top of your camera body. Turn it until the autofocus points in your viewfinder are sharp. Get to know your camera. There are a lot of buttons on EOS Rebel cameras, but don't worry, they each have an important job and work to help give you high-quality images and outstanding effects. Let's familiarize ourselves with the camera buttons. On your camera, you will find a power switch, the mode dial to quickly control your camera's zones, the ISO speed setting button, the shutter button for taking pictures, the autofocus point selection button, the AE lock button, the aperture exposure compensation button, the live view movie shooting button, the viewfinder with autofocus points for quick focusing as you take photos, and the flash. You can even control shooting modes, exposure levels, white balance, picture style, autofocus operation, image recording quality, aperture settings, ISO speeds, built-in flash settings, and more. Your LCD monitor shows you information about the photo you are about to take in one glance. You can get a quick snapshot of your flash settings, shutter speed, aperture, ISO speed, exposure level, and more. You can even view your subject in black and white if you are using the monochrome setting. Some models even feature a great LCD touchscreen with easy navigation. Now, let's get started. First, you will want to set the power switch to on and set the mode dial to A, otherwise known as the camera's auto setting or Scene Intelligent Auto mode. As you become more familiar with the camera, or if you have previous photography experience, you may want to start experimenting with manual settings to choose your own ISO, aperture, and more. But right now, use the camera in auto mode until you become more comfortable with your camera's many features. All the settings necessary for shooting are set automatically. You just press the shutter button, and the camera does the rest. To continue to make things even easier for you, some EOS Rebel camera models feature a high-quality touch panel LCD screen, which you can enable or disable for your own ease of use. Some have a vari-angle LCD screen that you can swivel around, while others have a fixed LCD screen on the camera's body. Just like your smartphone or tablet, you can use your fingers to tap or to slide the select functions on the screen. You can also pinch and zoom directly on your camera screen to scale your photos. A beeping sound is heard as you use your touch screen. You can disable this feature if you choose within the menu options. EOS Rebel cameras are all about options. You can choose to navigate through your camera's menu with the camera's dial or on select models by using your touchscreen. EOS Rebel cameras have many great features you can take advantage of, but in order to use them, you need to know they're there and how you can use them to your benefit. Your camera's feature guide does just that. When you change your shooting mode or select a function on your touchscreen, a little description of that function pops up on your screen to let you know how the function can work for you. The feature guide is a great tool to help you get to know your camera and its functions. It's like a photography coach helping you out along the way to make sure you're getting the most out of your camera. You can also customize your camera with functions you find yourself using regularly. This feature is available while set in any of the 4 creative zone modes on your camera: manual exposure, aperture priority AE, shutter priority AE, and program AE mode. Now, let's delve into the menu. You can set various functions such as image quality, recording quality, and things like the date and time from your camera's menu. To access the menu, press the menu button and use the cross keys to select the features you want to set. The items that will display will differ depending on which camera mode you are in. Basic zone modes for photography, movie modes for shooting video, and creative modes for adding effects. You can register up to 6 menu items and custom functions so you could easily access the settings in the future. To do this, press Menu and under the Star tab, select My Menu Settings. Please note that this function is only available in one of our 4 creative modes. Select Register to My Menu and select an item to register. You can register settings for items such as ISO, shutter speed, aperture, and more. Then select Set and OK. Image quality is an important menu feature. You can adjust your megapixel settings for your photos. The higher the megapixel, the larger the image file will be. You will generally want to use higher megapixels if you intend to enlarge an image or do a lot of cropping later. For everyday photos, it's okay to use smaller megapixel settings. For images you want to upload to the internet, it is recommended that you use a lower megapixel setting. The lower the megapixels you select for your photos, the more photos you will be able to store on your memory card. You can select to store your data as a JPEG or as a RAW image. A RAW image is the true original image. It has better resolution and color. Professional photographers like shooting in RAW because it gives them more control over the photography elements, such as white balance. You can shoot in RAW, then import into photo editing software, such as Canon Digital Photo Professional, which is included with your camera. Import RAW images to your computer, edit them, and enjoy incredible results. A JPEG image is the standard for images you intend to upload to the web because it compresses the pictures to a lower file size to allow for easy upload and sharing. You do not need any special software on your computer to view JPEG images. Your EOS Rebel camera has a special feature that allows you to both take a JPEG and a RAW image in one single shot. These images are saved to your SD card simultaneously. Images will be saved in the same folder with different file extensions, .jpg for JPEG and .cr2 for RAW. You inserted the battery. You inserted the SD card. You attached the lens. You set the lens focus mode switch to autofocus. Now that you're familiar with the basic functions and features of your camera, you are all set to start doing what your camera does best, taking photos. Turn the power switch to on and set the mode dial to auto. As you view your subject in the viewfinder or on the LCD screen, press the shutter button halfway down. You will see your image come into focus. Now press the shutter button completely down to take the picture. Practice this a few times in order to shoot like a pro. View your image right away on the LCD screen. It will be displayed for a 2-second preview. To view the image after the initial preview, press the playback button. The playback button allows you to shift between camera mode and playback mode. Camera mode is for when you are taking a picture, and playback mode allows you to view the photos you have already taken. Now shift to the picture you want to review. You can edit images directly from the playback screen. Select the image, magnify it to see details, or delete it if you don't want to save it on your SD card. Think before deleting. Once you delete an image, you will not be able to recover it. You can also add various creative filters to your photos to create amazing imagery. We will explore these filters in a few minutes. But first, let's explore your camera's flash. When taking a picture in one of the 4 creative modes while indoors, in low light, or in daylight with backlit conditions, you simply need to raise the built-in flash and take a picture. Otherwise, your camera will flash automatically. If the subject is far away, raise your camera's ISO speed to capture the most light possible. You'll learn more about ISO speed in a few moments. In bright light, decrease the ISO speed to prevent your image from looking washed out. You can also attach optional external flashes or speed lights to your camera. These speed lights are more powerful than your camera's flash and allow you to do some creative technique like bouncing light off the ceiling or a nearby wall. There are various types of speed lights, such as shoe mount or macro lights. Now let's delve deeper to help you shoot like a pro. There are 4 basic components to a good photo: exposure, aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. The exposure is a picture that is created as light passes through the shutter opening when you press the shutter button to take the picture. If the exposure comes out darker or lighter for whatever reason when the flash was not used, you can use the exposure compensation feature to improve your image. The exposure compensation feature can be used in most of the creative zone modes. Hold down the AV plus/minus button or the aperture composure compensation button, and turn the dial to the right for increased exposure to help make the image brighter. Turn the dial to the left for decreased exposure or to make the image darker. The next component to your photo is the aperture. The aperture is the opening of the lens. This opening expands and contracts to regulate how much light passes through the lens. Aperture size is usually measured in f-stops. You can see these numbers on your camera's lens. The higher the f-stop, the less amount of light can enter the camera. The lower the f-stop, the more light enters the lens. Depending on the lens, the maximum f-stop or aperture will vary. Adjusting your camera's aperture can help you get better control of your photo's depth of field. Depth of field is the range of distance in the photo that appears sharp and in focus. Some photos will have deep focus, where the full image is sharp, and others will have shallow focus, where the image in the foreground is sharp and the background is blurry. A large f-stop equals a shallow depth of field, and a small f-stop equals a wide depth of field. You may want to play with the image to obtain the depth of field you desire for the specific shot. You can preview the depth of field before you take the picture using the Depth of Field Preview button. Now let's say you want to take a picture of something or someone in motion. With an EOS Rebel camera, you can take gorgeous freeze-frame shots. That's where shutter speed comes in. The faster the shutter speed, the quicker your camera captures the image. Adjusting to a faster shutter speed, such as 1/2000th, will allow you to take beautiful pictures of fast-moving objects and make them appear as if they are frozen in motion. You can adjust the shutter speed while either in the manual exposure mode or the shutter priority AE mode. The slower the shutter speed, such as 1/8th, 1/15th, or 1/30th of a second, allows you to show motion. This is great for showing movement, such as a waterfall. Tip: when using slow shutter speeds, the use of a tripod is recommended. Want to capture gorgeous imagery in low light conditions? The ISO speed is your camera's image sensitivity to light. Change the ISO speed to accommodate for your light sources. Low ISOs from 100 to 400 can be perfect for shooting in the sunny outdoors. Increase your ISO to 400 to 1600 or higher for photos you want to take in overcast skies or during the evening when the sun isn't so bright. And finally, use the highest ISO setting, 1600 to 12,800, for taking dark indoor photos or photos outside at night. Keep in mind that the higher the ISO, the farther your flash range will extend. Now that you have some basic photography techniques under your belt, let's learn about the shooting modes that are available to you on your EOS Rebel camera. Set your shooting modes with the Mode dial. The Mode dial includes basic zone modes and creative zone modes. Think of your basic zone as your autopilot. Scene Intelligent Auto is your camera's fully automatic mode. You simply press the shutter button and the camera adjusts the shutter, the ISO, the aperture, and the exposure based on what is in your frame. The camera can also detect if a subject is moving or still and adjust the focus accordingly. To shoot in Scene Intelligent Auto mode, simply aim any autofocus point over the subject. The autofocus points will be used to focus. Generally, the closest point to the camera will be the most in focus. Most of the time, you would need a tripod to shoot night scenes, but your EOS Rebel camera can make it easy for you to shoot these images while holding your camera. Turn your mode dial to Special Scene Mode and press the Q button on your camera, or select the Q icon in the lower left corner on the screen. Select the preset shooting mode icon that appears in the upper left corner, and select the Handheld Night Scene icon from the shooting mode options. Press the Set button. The camera will now take 4 photos continuously when you press the shutter button. The images will come out brighter with reduced camera shaking. You can also use the Handheld Night Scene mode to take portraits of people. The 4 consecutive photos will give you a chance to select the best one from a series. But you should turn on the flash for the best results when utilizing this mode for portraits. When you shoot a scene that has both light and dark areas, you will want to utilize the HDR backlight control feature found in the shooting mode options and the Special Scenes mode. When you press the shutter button, 3 consecutive photos are taken at different exposure levels. The camera will composite these 3 images together to produce one final shot with a proper light-dark balance. Tip: when you are shooting a photo utilizing the HDR backlight feature, you will want to make sure you hold the camera steady to help ensure that the final image is properly aligned. In the Creative Auto mode, you can select the Background Blur Simulation effect to create realistic blurred or sharpened backgrounds. You can even preview these effects before taking the picture. Look in your Live View LCD screen to check the depth of field. You can select how sharp or how blurry you would like the background to appear. When you are happy with your images, press the shutter button. Now that you have mastered the basics, let's move on to using the Creative Zone modes. Creative Zone modes allow you to change your camera's basic settings in order to get more creative with your photography. These modes give you more control when you shoot various subjects. The P setting on your mode dial allows the camera to automatically set the shutter speed and aperture to adjust for the subject's brightness. As you look through the viewfinder, press the shutter button down halfway. The autofocus points for focus will turn red briefly. The focus confirmation light will light up. The shutter speed and aperture will set automatically for you. Want to take a picture of a person or object in motion as we discussed earlier? The TV setting, or Shutter Priority AE mode, on your mode dial allows you to easily freeze action or create a motion blur in your photos. Turn the dial to the right for a fast shutter speed, or to the left for a slow shutter speed. The aperture will be automatically set. If the aperture display blinks, turn the dial until it stops blinking. Tip: to freeze the motion of a subject that is fast-moving, use a fast shutter speed such as 1/2000th of a second. To blur something like running water, use a slow shutter speed, maximum 1/30th. We recommend using a tripod to obtain the most steady images. Next, the AV setting, or Aperture Priority AE mode, on your mode dial allows you to change your subject's depth of field. You can utilize this function to make everything in your photo blurry, blur out the background or foreground, or make everything in your photo really sharp. Set the desired aperture by turning the dial. Remember, the higher the f-stop, the wider the depth of field, for a sharper image in both the foreground and background of the photo. Lower the f-stop to control the parts of the image that are in and out of focus for a more sophisticated photo. Keep in mind that the higher the f-stop, the longer the shutter speed, so you will want to keep your hand steady or use a tripod. Depth of field can also vary depending on the camera lens you are using. Now let's advance to manual exposure, or your camera's M feature on the mode dial. You can set the shutter speed and the aperture manually as you desire to obtain the shot you are looking to achieve. To set the shutter speed, simply turn the dial. To set the aperture, hold down the AV button and turn the dial. Now, focus the subject and take the picture. While you're in one of the Creative Zone modes, you can also manually set your ISO speed. In the basic mode, your ISO is auto and can't be changed. To change your ISO speed, press the ISO button on your camera. Then press the cross keys to select the ISO you want. Want to add some cool effects to your photos? Creative filters are a quick way to add a little style without having to utilize a photo editing program on your computer. You can make your image appear grainy or black and white for a retro effect, soft focus, fisheye, art bold effect, watercolor painting effect, toy camera effect, and miniature effect. You can apply these effects live as you view the image in the LCD before you even take a shot. Or in playback mode, you can add these effects once the picture has been taken. Another way to add style to your photos is with your camera's built-in picture styles. You can adjust the way the photo will appear by selecting the style that's appropriate for the shot. Select Auto for automatic adjustments for the specific scene. Colors in nature will look especially vivid. Select Standard for vivid colors and sharp images. This works well for most imagery. Select Portrait for nice, even skin tones and soft images, perfect for close-ups. Select Landscape for very sharp images, vivid blue skies, and lush greenery. Select Neutral or Faithful if you prefer to avoid these adjustments and edit them later with photo editing software on your computer. This setting works well for natural color and subdued images. Select Monochrome if you would like to capture a black and white image. Now, let's focus on focusing. In your camera's basic mode, the focus is automatic and will generally focus on the closest subject to the camera. But sometimes you may want to focus on something else within the frame. To set the autofocus to your desired subject, set the lens focus mode switch to autofocus and set your camera to one of the creative zone modes. Then press the AF button. For one shot, hold down the shutter button halfway. The focus will then lock. The autofocus points will light up to show you that it's in focus. For moving subjects, the best focus setting is the AI Servo. In autofocus mode, select AI Servo. When you press the shutter button down, the focus will adjust automatically for each picture you take of a moving subject. Now let's say you're taking a series of shots of a still subject, say your dog. Then all of a sudden your dog runs towards a branch. No problem. Set your camera to AI Focus mode to automatically shift between one shot and a moving shot. Did you know you can also select the autofocus point on your camera's viewfinder to easily set your desired area of focus? Here's what you do. Simply press the autofocus point selection magnify button and use the cross keys or camera dial to select the autofocus points. Press Set to toggle the autofocus point between the center and the autofocus point selection. Now aim the selected autofocus point on your viewfinder at your subject and take the picture. Let's say you want to get even more creative. With your EOS Rebel camera, you can easily control when and how many photos are taken. For one shot, just hold down the shutter button once. This is ideal for subjects that are stationary, such as when you are photographing a beautiful sunset. For fast action, like capturing sports, your camera is capable of continuous shooting. To switch from single frame shooting to continuous shooting, press the Drive Mode button, or by selecting the Drive Mode feature on your camera's LCD screen. You can use this mode to set a self-timer to delay when the photo is taken. You can choose a delay of either 2 or 10 seconds. You can also set up the self-timer to take continuous shots. So you want to take the most natural-looking photos as possible, right? Achieve this simply with the correct white balance. White balance is the camera's function that adjusts the image's overall color tone so that images appear as natural as they can be. While in creative zone modes, select white balance, either by pressing the white balance button on your camera or by selecting the white balance feature on your camera's LCD screen. The white balance screen will appear. Use the cross keys or turn the dial to select the proper white balance. Then press Set. The approximate K value will be displayed for the white balance settings. K, or Kelvin, is the measurement system used for white balance. This is the color temperature which your camera reads. Your camera can automatically set the proper white balance for the specific shot, but if for some reason the proper setting cannot be obtained, you can set it yourself by shooting a plain white object. While some photographers prefer to use the traditional viewfinder to find the perfect shot, you may prefer to use the LCD screen as your viewfinder. This is one of the many benefits of utilizing a digital SLR camera. This method of photography is called live view shooting. You can access the live view shooting option by pressing the camera button on your camera. Your camera's features in the live view shooting mode work the same as in the traditional shooting mode. But by default, continuous autofocus, as we discussed a few minutes ago, will take effect. The camera's live view will closely reflect the actual brightness level of the image you want to capture. There are plenty of times when you will want to utilize the camera's live view shooting option. Let's say you're a guest at a wedding and not just attending as a photographer. You want to capture it all, but you don't want to miss out. Photographing the event using the live view option lets you still be part of the action without having to bury your nose in the traditional viewfinder. Now it's movie time. Did you know your Canon EOS Rebel camera is also great at capturing video? Lights, camera, action! It's time for your camera to take center stage. Since movie files can take up a lot of space, it's a good idea to select a large capacity SD card, rated SD speed 6 or higher. If you use an SD card with a slower speed, the movie may not record or playback properly. You should note that the sound recording level is adjusted automatically, but you also have the option to manually adjust the recording levels. Now get ready and action! Start by turning your camera's power switch to the movie setting. Set the movie shooting mode to anything but M. By default, the camera's movie servo autofocus is set so that your subjects will always be in focus. Start recording by pressing the movie button on your camera. You will see a red circle in the upper right-hand screen. To stop recording, press the movie button again. Now, just like still images, you have different options when it comes to movie resolution. The movie recording size option allows you to set the movie's image size and frame rate, which is how many frames are recorded per second. You can select from the following image sizes. 1920 by 1080 is full high-definition quality. This has an aspect ratio of 16 by 9. 1280 by 720 is standard high-definition recording quality. The aspect ratio will also be 16 by 9. 640 by 480 is standard definition recording quality. This aspect ratio will be 4 by 3. Let's talk a little bit about frame rates now and best standards for specific countries. 30 or 60 frames per second is standard for where the country TV format is NTSC. Countries include North America, Japan, Korea, and Mexico. For areas where the TV format is PAL, such as Europe, Russia, China, and Australia, 25 or 50 frames per second should be used. For professional motion pictures, 24 frames per second is optimal. So you've recorded your feature and now you want to see how it came out. To playback your movie, press the playback button. Shuffle through your images until you find the movie you wish to play back. You can play your movie using the buttons on the camera by hitting Set, then Play on your EOS Rebel camera, or by hitting the top cross button and then Set. You can pause the movie by hitting Set again. On some models, you can also play back the movie by using the LCD touchscreen. Simply touch the play button that appears in the center of the screen and your movie will play. To pause your movie, tap the screen again. Since your EOS Rebel camera records in high definition, you can also enjoy playing back your video directly on your high-definition TV screen. You can purchase an HDMI cable, sold separately, to connect your camera directly to your TV screen or computer for easy viewing. Are you ready to look beyond? You took a glimpse inside your new Canon EOS Rebel camera, its important features and buttons. You now have a good handle on image quality, focusing, playback, exposures, ISO, aperture, shutter speeds, shooting modes, and more. You even learned about filming movies. So are you ready? What do you see? No, what do you really see? Go ahead, explore, look beyond, see the beauty, and capture it.